I'm so confused. If you look at the riots video, the London riot looting thing, why is everyone saying well? Like, I know the meaning, the general meaning, but like I don't understand in this context. Like, what does it mean?
If you see this or this in the comments, know that it's a dog whistle for hate. Here's why things like this keep happening. The phrases well, and like a moth to a flame are being used by anti-Semites and racists to harass Jewish and Black creators on TikTok. According to Sarah Aniano, a disinformation analyst with the ADL Center on Extremism, marginalized creators' comment sections are being flooded with these terms, along with hurtful videos that promote stereotypes. Since these phrases are pretty innocuous, they likely won't be picked up by content moderation systems, and that's a common practice with online bigots, using hashtags, words, or phrases that are otherwise inoffensive as a dog whistle to other extremists. It also makes it difficult for users to fight back, as it's harder to prove the phrases are being used in a hateful way. As Aniano points out, unfortunately, this isn't the first time this has happened, and it won't be the last. Aniano advises people to stay alert to these trends, and be aware when a seemingly simple comment might have more than one meaning.
All right, guys, so we got to respond to this TikTok from this woke white savior by the name of Hiram. Now, Hiram has like 6 million followers, okay? So this isn't just some random dude on the internet, you know, just saying a bunch of woke stuff just to be saying woke stuff. This guy has quite a following, right, as a woke influencer. And he is disturbed by this racist dog whistle trend of white people saying, well to Black people, right? And he's sounding the alarm on it. And I want to respond to it because this right here, again, is just another example of how in 2023, apparently, if you're white, you can't say anything to a Black person without being accused of some form of bigotry. I just did a video the other day about a Black woman getting upset with somebody complimenting her hair, right? But because she changes her hair often, she doesn't like when people compliment her every time she changes her hair, even though we know that these are the main people that will be boohoo, whining, and complaining if they didn't get compliments on their hair, and they be talking about how Black women are always looked down upon. They don't see us as beautiful. Okay, they're always adhering to the white standards of beauty, and we feel so left out, right? I'm just saying, you just can't please some people, right? They can't ever be pleased. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and react to this video because, again, this is fascinating.
Okay, so I need to talk about something that I've been seeing here on TikTok that is really, really disturbing, and it seems like nobody is talking about it, but I've only recently learned what it means, and I want to share with you guys so you can be on the lookout because it's very dark and sinister, and that's the term well. I have been seeing this term being used across so many different videos for so long, to the point that I've been seeing hundreds, maybe even thousands of people commenting this term. And when I first saw it, I didn't really think anything of it. I figured I just didn't know exactly what they meant. You know, it is a commonly used phrase, so I didn't really think much of it until I started to notice that any type of content I would see that primarily depicts a Black person in a negative light, or even has the proximity to depicting a Black person negatively, or say a gay person or trans person negatively, that when I would go to the comment section, this term well would be what I would see the entire time I'm scrolling, like hundreds and hundreds of comments of this term being used. And that's when I started to question, like, okay, what exactly does this mean? What are people referring to when they say this? Come to find out, it is a dog whistle. And if you don't know what a dog whistle is, it's essentially like a secret code that extremists who have, say, racially negative biases, people who are prejudiced, homophobic, transphobic, it's secret codes that they will use to communicate their biases to other people who think the same way, but use these kind of masked terms that the rest of us would not be able to understand. It's a very...
Yeah, so... Again, it amazes me when they do this, okay? They do this all the time, okay? Like, for example, when Trump was complaining about the riggers in Georgia, right? And he was like, we need to find the riggers, okay? We're going to make the riggers pay. The mainstream liberal media took that as some sort of racist dog whistle, right? It wasn't riggers that Trump was talking about, which, clearly what Trump was talking about is the people that he feel like were responsible for the outcome of the election that, you know, he didn't like, that he didn't agree with, right? That's who he was referring to. There was nothing racial about it, but the mainstream liberal media spent that and to try to say, no. Trump actually means the N-word, right? The N-word that rhymes with riggers. That's what he was actually saying. It is a racial dog whistle, meaning that Trump wants to go after black people, right? Which again is hilarious. Okay, it really is. Okay, so I guess they're doing that with well now and trying to say that, well, people that comment well under any video of a black person or a black person in which they're being painted in a negative light or the proximity to a negative light. I'm not sure exactly how this person phrased it. Have you guys ever noticed how woke language is just so weird, right? They just talk so funny, okay, when they're trying to talk it in wokenese, right? Like, wokenese. Yo, I just thought that. I just came up. I'm going to start using that every time I heard wokenese, right?
Well, I started to notice that any type of content I would see that primarily depicts a black person in a negative light or even has the proximity to depicting a black person negatively or
belief is that we should be centering the voices and experiences of the most marginalized people and communities at all times. So when I think about what fat liberation looks like to me, it looks like centering the voices and the experiences of those who live in and who maneuver through spaces and institutions in a fat body. It looks like making accessible spaces and having conversations that are aware of the fact that people have different bodies and that they are interacting with space and people and institutions and communities.
Yeah, so that's what wokenese sounds like, okay? That lady said something like fat liberation centers around putting those who are maneuvering through spaces and institutions with fat bodies. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you saying, okay? That's a long-winded way of saying, well, fat people just should be at the center of all conversations, right? Don't listen to anybody but fat people, okay? That's wokenese, right? So I'm just saying, I mean, these people, the way they talk is just so funny. It's comical.
It's a very sinister way of communicating, say, racism, homophobia, or transphobia. And once I realized that, looking through content and comment sections, I have been absolutely floored at how frequently I've been seeing well being used. And it's really disturbing because I know for me, it's definitely shined a light on how many people are more than willing to publicly share their racist ideologies or their prejudice ideologies and feel completely comfortable doing it on TikTok, to the point that entire comment sections will be filled with this term well. And it's really been disturbing to me to see, and I don't think it's okay. And it's actually very scary to see how many people are, feel comfortable commenting this on posts. Even on posts, I saw one earlier today that really just shook me up, where it was videos of monkeys trying to steal a banana from a person who was visiting a zoo, and the entire comment section was people commenting well. And as I dug into those comments, it was because people are being just disgustingly racist. It makes me so sick to my stomach. It's so horrifying. So I just want to let you guys know so that if you do see this term, please report those accounts, or, just if you are a content creator, please delete those comments off of your posts. Just be careful out there. I'm not sure exactly what we can do to address it, because the problem with dog whistles is that they're masked under seemingly innocent terms that wouldn't necessarily be grounds for having someone's account be banned, which is the dark and twisted things about dog whistles in the first place, is that it seems like it's nothing when it actually is very prejudiced and absolutely disgusting. Anyway, I don't know if you guys have suggestions on how to deal with this problem, because I've just been seeing it anywhere. So if you do have any suggestions, please comment it down.
Yeah, so his suggestion is censorship, right? I mean, if you use well as a white person, you're racist, right? You might as well be wearing a Klan hood, okay? You use the term well. Again, I feel like I've said well so much, right? Like, sometimes I'll say like, well, look what we have here, okay? Or something like that, okay? Does that make me racist? I'm not sure. Now, again, where this comes from, this backlash against well, is the fact that there's like a running like Uncle Ruckus like internet meme. It's like a joke using well. Okay, honestly, I think it's hilarious. Okay, and I think that jokes, should be something that we can accept in society, even if there's a racial undertone. I hear white jokes all the time, right? I hear jokes all the time about white people, right? I see it all the time. Okay, I mean, I think that jokes should be able to go both ways. Okay, internet memes should be able to make fun of everybody. Nobody should be off limits in regards to getting made fun of. Okay, that is the beauty of comedy, right? That's the beauty of comedy. Okay, I'm just saying, you really can't say anything to a black person if you're white and not be accused of being racist, right? That it has to be some form of bigotry. Okay, it's funny because this is what they do. Right? Terms like woke as well too. They're now trying to say, well, that's a racist dog whistle towards black people, right? Oh, well, you know what they mean when they say the word woke. They're actually talking about black folks. And it's like, no, not really. Okay, because me personally, when I use the term woke, I just use it to describe any far left leaning individual that pushes for far left social policies, right? And progress. That is what I define as woke. Okay, it doesn't really have anything to do with black people. Has more to do with your political and social ideology, right? I mean, but again, these people like to turn any term that they don't like or that makes them feel uncomfortable or they feel like it's some type of microaggression into a form of bigotry. And the people that do this the most are white liberals, right? They feel the need to try to come to save black folks, right? I'm gonna come and save black people from the evil white racists saying the term well, right? You need to delete it, right? Everybody should be deleting that because it's racist, okay? It's racist. It's a form of bigotry, okay? It's hateful. And I mean, and the funny part is that what these white liberals don't realize is that when they do this type of language policing, they're really just hurting themselves. Because at some point, it will be used against them. At some point, they'll say something to a black person, right? Thinking that they're not being racist, okay? That they're just trying to treat a black person like they're normal, okay? And that black person is going to get triggered by it and then turn around and accuse the white liberal of being racist, right? And then the white liberal is going to boo-hoo, whine, and cry about how racist they were. And again, that's just what's going to happen, right? They're going to end up being a victim of this language policing because you're trying to program people into believing that any little thing, any little microaggression is a form of bigotry and hatred, right? That's the funny part about this. At this point, these people are just silly, right? This is just silly nonsense. But again, it's a part of a trend that I've seen where, again, it's almost like, again, as a white person, you can't say anything to a black person without potentially being some type of bigot, right? Or racist or hateful in some way. Okay, we're getting to the point in our society where you just won't be able to speak, right? You just won't be able to speak. Okay, leftists don't believe in free speech. They go out of their way to try to take away other people's right to free speech. And the type of society they want is a society where you can't say anything, especially if you're white, right? Don't say anything. Okay, saying anything, posting, commenting on a black person means that you're racist. And if you don't comment, that also means that you're racist, right? Because that means that you don't care and that you're not centering black people, okay, or so-called oppressed or marginalized people in your life 24/7, right? It's just amazing how that works. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't. It really is. Amazing stuff. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.